In 2020, four friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This results in a text chain that celebrated the music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 131, and that's a palindrome, my friend. Okay? Thanks a lot, Obama, for all those palindrome strikes. Boob. They went and said a boom. Okay, that's an English joke slash kind of a
zero res. Get your carpet cleaned by zero res.
We're up to album 131.
Spells backwards and forwards.
We're up to album 131, and from 1984, it's the album that goes like this. Once there was this boy who... Wait a minute, we're doing Dummy by Portishead? Oh, okay, guys, I need to take about a 49-minute break before we start recording. That's my bad.
I listened to the wrong album. Yikes.
Just, you're playing that Crash Test Dummy song, you're like, all right, I love this song. Skip, 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 skip. What if they wrote like the national anthem? What if they wrote one of the greatest songs of all time and nobody knows because the other song is so good? You know what I mean? Like the second song on Crash Test Dummies album is like super good. You'd never know, right? Editing already. Sad.
Are you implying that Francis Scott Key wrote?
I was just trying to figure out the math on that. Yeah. How does that work? I mean, it feels like you would know because it's. Yeah, let's move on.
Well, I think when they asked him what key is the Star Spangled Banner going to be in, and he's like, "Yep." All right.
Scott.
Yeah, it's me. In the key of Francis Scott, it's me, you son of a bitch. I'm writing the national anthem. Hey, I really want America's national anthem to be something that's really hard to sing, that most people can't even sing. That would be really cool if we could do that. That'd be great. Thank you. Oh, America the Beautiful? No, thanks. Think of another song about America.
American Woman? Nope.
American Woman? God, that would be a great national anthem. American Woman! We're just all before football. We're going to be like...
And just everybody is like...
We're like, God damn, those American women really makes you love this country. Listen, Aaron, stop wasting my time. Okay, we have to get into the podcast. And of course, we start with a very real song on a very real radio station. In fact, it's so real that it has a call sign. It is K-Rob. So let's turn it on right now. And let's remember what album we're doing. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to K-Rob, K-R-O-B. You know, I think all we want as a species is to be loved. We want to know that there's somebody out there who treats us like the apple of our eye, like the last slice of pumpkin pie. Like they're a person who's willing to share fries with us. Like... It's like a hamburger with cheese inside. I just think we want somebody to treat us with the respect that we deserve. And there's no better way to find that. And I see it every Friday night when Aaron starts talking about his breakfast, his lunch, his dinner. He loves his food. Oh, yeah.
I just want to be loved. I want to be appreciated. But then I realized Aaron's who I should have dated. He's the perfect bride. I had a thought down. Could get someone to love you like Aaron loves food.
For me, it's a few things. It's like shrimp and grits, hamachi crudo, catfish. Any of those are on a menu, I gotta order them. What is it for you guys?
A taco or some barbecue. Imagine that's how he loved you when he looked into your eye and said you're like a truffle fry.
Ooh.
He treats you like an appetizer.
Oh.
I want someone to love me like Aaron loves good cheese.
Oh, I love good cheese.
When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time.
Can I tell you a sick confession, Aaron?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I almost exclusively buy American singles in the plastic wrap, and that's my cheese I use.
Hey, listen, I got American singles in the fridge right now.
Yeah,
There's room for all these
buddy.
things. There's room for all of them. All God's creatures have a place in the choir.
I told that to somebody I work with, and they almost passed out. They're like, oh.
What? What if you want to make a burger or a tuna melt? You have to have
I don't know. I don't.
know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put manchego on my burger. Get out of here with that. I put it on one of those.
Forget it.
I put it on one of those slices that seems plasticky until you melt it, and then it seems really plasticky. That's how you know it's good. I love that shit. Listen, guys. Listen, we do love Aaron just like he loves food. I've got 3 guys here. They want to talk about Portishead dummy. Let's get right into it. I've got Russ in Minnesota. Russ, how are you doing?
Guys, I can't understand myself anymore because after that limo ride home from the legal brothel, for some reason, I'm feeling very unholy.
I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing?
Good, Rob. This podcast, it just won't leave me alone.
It's true.
Just won't.
Every
me
Matt's
alone.
one is getting more and more surly. I think he's trying to tell us something, but we ain't listening. And I've got Rosie out in California now. Rosie, I heard. Now this is what I heard, Rosie, and tell me if I'm wrong here. This is what I heard. I heard that you are working at an Indian buffet. We talk about how much you love the Indian buffet. You can't help it. You stop every time you see it. Take a nap afterwards. You love it. I'm definitely not listening to old episodes. But Aaron agreed if to work at this Indian buffet, he could not share their flatbread recipe. Oh my God. Flatbed. Yep. So a little story about this owner of the Indian buffet. He did drive a semi-truck. He had a flatbed. And on that, he would carry flatbread. And that is the recipe that Aaron said he would not tell anybody. It's the flatbread recipe. Russell, it was your standard non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure. Non-disclosure. I nailed it.
Have I ever told you, Rosie, have I ever told you guys that, you know, whenever we go out for like these business trips, like, well, we're going to go out to eat. What do you like? And my standard line is anything but Indian. Anything but Indian food.
My God.
I'll go anywhere but an Indian restaurant. That's my standard line. Everybody laughs. Well, of course we're not going to an Indian restaurant on a business night. Yeah. So
on the subject of flatbeds and Indian food, did you know there's an entire network of truck stop Indian restaurants around, mostly around the American West, due to a certain influx of people at a certain time, and then some restaurateurs decided to get off the road as truckers and start creating truck stop Indian restaurants. Yeah.
Indian food. I had no idea.
Did I tell you guys?
I've still never been to one, but I see the signs a lot. And one of these days I'm going to try one.
Listen, this is already going to be a long episode, I can tell. But let me just tell you guys right now. I was recently on a bus back with a team I was coaching. I'm just going to put it that way. And I was sitting up front and I just was talking to the bus driver, as I always do. I always talk to the bus drivers. I just see what's going on with them. And I always get a great story. And this guy was telling me, this is a bus driver. So I am on a bus. Let's just picture it with like 24 middle school age kids coming back on a Saturday at like 8 o'clock at night. Everybody's exhausted, right?
Oh.
This bus driver goes, yeah, I used to be a long haul trucker. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'd go down to Miami and I'd come back up. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yes.
What was the best part? He goes, women would come and see your truck and then you could fuck them. And I was like, what? And he goes, man, you wouldn't believe, your wife doesn't know, but you could fuck so many women in your truck. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, no.
Who's behind you?
Oh yeah.
Who's
that's my kid.
behind you?
Listen, she's heard the story already. She loves it. She thinks it's great. But he would say that, and I was like, yes. But what else was a good part? And he was like, they're freaks. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, we are driving a bus full of middle schoolers. You cannot tell me about your freaky trucker escapades, please.
I think it's not even the bus of school. You got your daughter right behind you listening
She's right
to this.
there listening in on, and the dog.
You're on a podcast with your friends. Your dog is dying. Can you like?
My dog.
Everybody wave.
Don't
Everybody
spoil
wave.
my rolling going. Okay.
Hey.
I'm going to talk about the dog. She's trying to spoil my rolling going.
Hey, Rob, did your bus driver have any contacts that could get me a job application for one of those long haul jobs?
It was
Russ is going to get a class double D license.
we're still in.
Hey, girls, go to bed. Don't listen to that joke I just made.
We're still.
Okay, I will take the dog to the vet. Everybody just leave me alone. This is my time right now.
You're right.
Guys, I'm hanging out with my friends. Jeez.
God, I am making.
Wow,
did they hear that double? They don't get the class D license joke because it's like they don't. They think class A, and I'm like, well, no, it's actually it depends. Axle's numbers, like we're talking.
But it's still my intro, and I want to let you guys know that I'm coming to you live from my mudroom /laundry room, aka the Glory Box. So let's talk
Glory
about
box.
The glory
Let's
box.
talk
That's what we're
about
calling it now. The
Portishead.
glory box.
Yep, it's called the glory box.
Sounds glorious.
Matt, your mother-in-law
Gotta
is not going to ask for the definition of a glory box, is she?
Things are fine. Things are fine at the house. Don't worry
Watching
about
Rob trying to
It
parent
is
back
almost
there while doing a
midnight Eastern,
podcast is
and
hilarious.
Rob's children are still awake, bustling around him.
it. Yeah.
He's got Science Olympiad in like 5 hours. This
Listen,
man is
she makes a
podcast
great
hero.
point. The dog is annoying, but I'm going to get to that later. So this is all going to get edited out, except for that bus driver story because it was crazy.
That's
and
a
I had to
wild
be
story.
like, I couldn't be like, stop telling that story right now. I will get fired. Listen, just listening to the story. You need to stop. And he was like, oh yeah. He goes, you just stop wherever and girls will come over and be like, oh, what's inside that truck? Let me look in the back. And I'm like, I get it. Stop telling me the story. You have to. But he was like, yeah, trucking's great. And then he would just say, that's what was great about it. I was like, oh, what'd you haul down? He's like, yeah, it was the same stuff. But man, you could get these lot lizards all up and down the coast. And I was like, okay, I will go fill out a job application. I better go update my LinkedIn because I'm about to get fired. Listen, Aaron, we did your bit already, right? Let's get right into the voicemail. I didn't miss it. I remember it. Let's get right into the voicemail.
Right into it.
Dumb shit listeners. I
can't believe I picked this one.
Dumb shit listeners.
Oh, boo, Rob, boo. Come
That's
on.
terrible. I got to make a nice one. I really do. Can I tell you this is the saddest voicemail we've ever gotten? This is from the double M Magic Mike.
If you guys really are the link, I sent an Amazon package in your name that accidentally said your last name in an episode to the front desk. Says it got there last night. Enjoy hard.
So, Magic Mike sent us a package to the link.
Oh, no.
Now,
Oh, no.
two things. Number one, Matt apparently says my last name on the episode. So all you little horny Sherlock Holmes out there, okay, you can go look for my last name, and I don't know what you're going to do with that information. Not much.
Oh,
not much going
no.
on.
Yeah.
We did not stay at the link.
Has anyone called the link to see if the package is there?
No. What could it possibly be? Magic Mike, can you text us and tell us?
It's got to be a sex toy.
What?
It's got to be a sex toy.
Well, how did you
Don't
make
you think
that
he would
leap,
send us?
Aaron?
Haven't we done episodes about sex toys? Wouldn't he send or maybe he sent a CD. It was probably.
You know what? I dare our fans to try to send us sex toys. I dare you. They wouldn't do it. Okay. Especially that one with the two things, and the one was smaller. The one hole was smaller than the other.
Some of us on this podcast were so afraid of Magic Mike coming. Some of us were super excited that Magic Mike might show up.
Yep.
And so, just to be safe, some of us said the wrong hotel we were staying at, just in case Magic Mike decided to do something cool and show up or send us a package. Dang it backfired on us because he actually did something
He
cool and sent us a package.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure Magic Mike wasn't the dauber guy at the carnival court?
Oh my God. That would explain why that dauber guy at the dance turned to me and said, hey, did you get that human head I sent in a box? And I was like, who are you? What are you talking about?
The front desk at the link to your last name.
Magic Mike, I'm not going to lie. When I saw that text message, it literally broke my heart. I feel terrible that we did not, because getting a package from you in Vegas at the front desk would be the funniest thing ever. Like, sir, there's a package.
Lost our minds.
What's in the
absolutely
box?
lost our minds.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Somebody says, sir, there's a package for you. I'd be like, holy shit, I'm like James Bond now. This is going to be great. Then I open it up and it's a sex toy or whatever Magic Mike sent. But Magic Mike, please tell us what it is. The suspense is killing us. And again, I'm sorry.
We did not stay. Did we say that we did not stay at the link? We stayed at another. Where did we? I don't even remember because I showed up at Paris and I texted Joe from Woodbury and said, Joe, they don't say you've got a room here. And he goes, where are you? And I said, Paris. He goes, we're at the fucking. Where were we? New York. Planet
Hollywood.
We were at Planet Hollywood. I go,
Matt's having a rough week.
So I had to walk one casino over because I got the wrong message. So
with your bag, humiliating. Trust me, I know.
Humiliating in Vegas.
Absolutely full of podcast setup material. It's absolutely humiliating. So, guys, have you ever left a gift for somebody at a hotel or a note? I mean, that's like James Bond stuff, right? That's crazy
stuff. I'm so sad. So I hope that someone's enjoying this gift. Maybe it's a CD box set of some kind.
I have a kind of a story that might have to get deleted.
Yes.
Oh, we could do that.
Oh, yeah.
I promise to delete it. Let's see. Delete
sure.
button. Oh, it's broken. What does that mean? Okay, try it.
So I was dating this lady for a little bit.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I think I was out of town for work or something, and I sent her something, and I had it delivered to her house. I had it delivered to her house. It was like, I don't know what it was. I don't remember if it was a birthday or what it was. It was some sort of gift, if you will, right?
Was it a mirror with your hair on it so it could see what it looked like if it was her face and your hair and she was kissing it?
Well, maybe we don't need to delete it if that's where we're going. But so I sent it, and then all of a sudden, like things kind of started hitting the skids. She started kind of not responding to calls, not responding to emails or whatever. Yeah. At one point we were texting and she's like, "Oh, I saw I got a package from you. I missed it. I'll go pick it up from the place." They didn't just leave it there. You had to go pick it up, I guess.
Yeah.
And so she never picked it up. We never saw each other again. So I bought someone a gift, and this girl broke up with me by kind of going ghost style. And so she never picked up the gift. It just was stranded at some post office somewhere.
Man. Do you think postal workers at some point just get to tear into that stuff? I mean, are there people who get to just take stuff home? Right? You couldn't just let that sit for years, right?
So here's what I picture, right? They're at the post. Just wait a second. My dog is fucking scratching at my kid's door, wants to get in. My kid will not let the dog in. I'm in fucking hell. I hate parenting. I hate my life.
Don't you have a crate?
You got a cool shirt on, Rob. You got a cool shirt on.
I am going to now put boxes in front of the door so you can't scratch at it.
There the door open.
She is so much like Jenny. She is so mad at me about everything related to sleep. I'm trying to sleep. I'll come in, trying to sleep. I'm like, this is like Jenny number 2. I'm like, everybody, leave me alone about sleep. Just go to sleep. I do all the time. It happens every night. It's not a big deal. God, family.
Everything's fine.
Once again,
here's what I picture. It was a hotel. It's a gift at the post office, and it's like, from Russell. And the post office is like, listen, this gift has been here for a year. It's time to do our tradition. We open old packages, and they open this one up, and it's a hologram, right? It's a hologram of Russell.
Yeah.
And he's dressed like a sexy Austin Powers going, "Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah." They're like, this is the second worst gift I've ever opened.
Do you think we could call the link?
Yeah, someone needs to call the link and pose as.
Do you think we could call them like on the air right now and see if they'll open it up for us? Like, do you have a package for Rob? Beep, and see if they. Yeah, we should call. Can we call them on the line?
It's from Wuhan, China. It's a pangolin scales. What? So,
if I had a guess, I would guess he sent us socks.
Ooh, also a good guess.
Do you think so?
What could have? Oh man, we could have worn matching socks the whole time.
Yes,
shit.
You're right.
Super. Oh my god, I feel terrible.
Yeah, we feel terrible. We're pieces of shit. Let's get into rolling going. Sorry, Magic Mike.
Oh man,
I really did feel bad when I read that.
It's time.
But it is Matt's fault as well. So let's be clear on that.
It's time for
not Rob's.
Rolling.
Rob, remember when I called you and said, wouldn't it be funny if we really had Magic Mike show up? And I said, it would just be great just to have him come. And you were like, no.
I do not remember that. What I said was, I think that would be funny until like hour 2. And then we're just kind of sitting there looking at each other like, it would be funny to talk. And like, here's a fan from this dumb podcast we started for absolutely nothing. But then it's hour 2 and we're like, so which episode is your favorite?
I think I could talk to Magic Mike for a long time. That dude's got some good taste in music. So I could talk to him for a long time. It might just, Rosie, one of these times, now that you're coming for a little bit longer, we got to get day drunk again and just talk about music.
Talk it through. He's not that far from me. One of these times I'm going to catch him.
When we get up on the Sunday morning in Vegas and he's walking out using Aaron's toothbrush from the bathroom, that's when it got really awkward.
Yeah, Magic Mike is sitting at home with 9 fingers because one's in a box at the link. He's like, oh, God, I thought they loved me.
I could have kept
I should not have cut off a thumb. That was bad. Okay, in retrospect, that's one of the worst fingers I cut off.
Definitely, right?
What is the best finger to cut off? Probably a ring finger?
Ring finger on your left hand. Ring finger on your left hand. Ring finger on your left hand. Russell's like,
not a pinky.
Pretty quick with that one.
Russell's like, cut off ring finger on my left hand. That's actually not a bad idea.
Pinky you could leave off pretty. Russell's making borderline vulgar gestures.
That's true. You could do that a lot easier.
Get up into the hilts there much easier.
I'll tell you what. That's how I knew that my wife and I were made for each other is when I did the shocker to her. And she's like, I like that. And that's respectful. That's a sign that all guys know what that means. I mean, can you imagine? just guys, everyone knows what this means. It's the rudest, worst thing. Literally, it's the worst thing. And all guys are like,
How did we end up here?
well, because all those paintings of Jesus in Rome where he's always doing the shocker. It's wild. What? When I was in college, I studied the Russian Orthodox Church in college. All we talked about was how much Jesus was doing the shocker in pictures. I don't think I got the point of the class. I feel like maybe I wasted my time and money. Rolling going. Russell, how's it going with you?
Things are going good. As you guys know, I believe Valentine's Day is coming up. This will actually come out after Valentine's Day, so there's no harm to me by asking the questions pre-Valentine's Day. But I thought I could maybe go to the advice corner, see how you guys handle Valentine's Day, and see if I can get some advice from you.
Russell, are you serious, Russell? You're going to ask us for Valentine's advice?
I think this is the wrong group chat. Well, maybe Rosie. Maybe you should just ask Rosie.
I don't know.
I jack off with my left hand on Valentine's. I mean, what? Switch it up. Just kidding. That would take hours. Can you even imagine?
I sit on my left hand for 2 minutes, not just a minute and a half.
Is that where have you ever tried it sans left ring finger or
Left
not?
ring finger?
Yeah.
That's the finger I use the most, actually. It's the perfect size. It's like I'm saying okay, but
I've got a series of questions I was going to ask you guys. Help me get through the holiday season here, if you will.
All right.
The first one is actually right in line for Aaron. What type of tote bag do you buy for a gift on Valentine's Day?
It's got to be a Bagoo tote bag, man. Those are the best. They're the best, high quality. You got to get the Bagoo tote bag.
Russell, are you trying to be celibate?
Bagoo.
Is this a choice? Are you going into like a monastery or something?
Aaron said a tote bag is a great gift.
I've been married for 18 years.
so.
If I got my wife a tote bag, she would divorce me.
I have not tried the tote bag as a Valentine.
Bagoo.
It's gonna go.
I am not going to a tote bag website. Am I right now?
Yes, you are.
Yep, it's
Okay.
happening.
This is what you're suggesting I buy for Valentine's Day, Aaron?
You asked for a tote bag
Okay.
recommendation. These are good bags.
Crossbody bag. Shop now.
Listen, a Go pouch set, $40. It's just 4 pouches. Russell, this is... Okay, wait a minute. A crossbody bag. Maybe I do want a crossbody bag.
I'm telling you.
$40.
$52.
If I spend that much, that'll give me at least through this Christmas, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I think buying a girlfriend a fanny pack, nothing says I love you like a fanny pack. If you're saying that, Russell, I'm not sure. I don't want to cause any trouble.
Wait, Russell's got a girlfriend?
I really like you.
The next question I have is, what is your flower style? What is your flower style when it comes to Valentine's? You always do flowers? What you get something big, something small? What's your flower style?
00 for that pizza dough.
I used to use a
Back
brown
in that
flour.
I get it.
Back at that one.
Has to be slightly healthier.
Yeah, I'll say King Arthur's.
You guys know me. I love flowers. I like to go to the flower shop and just be like, oh, what's that thing? I like that. Last time I picked out flowers, ended up with some kale and then picked out a bunch of stuff to go with the kale. And I think it was nice. It ended up being like
And then
too
you
much.
ate it?
Yeah.
It was like too much. It was too purpley. Like I ended up with a lot of purple, which was not what I intended. I should have sprinkled in some other stuff in there.
Skull
but-
likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to go to the shop and just pick out some weird stuff. I don't know if she likes it, but I pick out what I like.
I was trying to buy some kale and I got home and he said, hey, I used to play for the Celtics. And I was like, oh, it's Kevin McHale. I bought Kevin McHale. That's my bad. That's on me.
Matt, what's your style? Are you a flower buyer?
No. I mean, to be fair, my gal, as Rosie would say. No. Is that what you say? What do you say? My lady?
I say my lady, but Rob's mom
My
doesn't
lady,
like it when I say that.
she's not a big
She loves
flower
it.
person, let alone a big roses person. So it's
Hello.
she likes getting flowers, but it's got to be kind of like what Rosie said. It's got to kind of hit on what the mood is. So something might look great, we'll get that, but it's not just flowers for her. From what I know, I might be getting myself in trouble. I don't think I am, guys. I don't
I
think
know
I
this is
am.
a lot. This feels like a lot of pressure.
I've got a flower buying technique that you guys are going to die for. Okay.
What
First
is
of all, I'm not going to talk about when I went to the bird store. Okay. And what I bought there. That's a whole different story.
Do you take the sticker
Number
off
33.
after you leave the gas station with the flowers, or you leave the sticker on?
There's no gas stations around here, Russell.
What?
I do go to the bodega. I go to the flower place and I say, excuse me, can I have your
cookies if there's no gas stations?
Can I have your, well, it's at the bodegas actually. Or yeah, pretty much everywhere. Actually, if I wanted to buy a cookie about every 10 feet in New York, I could and do. But at the flower store, I say, excuse me, can I have your third most expensive bouquet of flowers? Like not the
Third most
cheapest,
expensive.
not the next one, but the next one
That's
up.
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think if it's got,
That's how I buy tires, Rob.
It's
I go
not-
into the shop and say, what's your most expensive? Give me one level down from there. That's
There we
what I'll
go.
take.
perfect. Yeah, because there's no roses. You know what I mean? But there is some flowers in there. It's not just baby's breath or whatever that shit was.
Rob, do you have to specify that you're talking about the third most expensive bouquet of real flowers and not fake flowers, or could you accidentally land on the fake ones?
Well, I mean, really what I do, Russell, and for Valentine's Day, and a lot of people don't realize this, you can actually get a really good deal right now because it's off season on corsages. I buy my wife a corsage every Valentine's Day. Like we're going to a dance. She puts it on her wrist. We walk around like that. She loves it. Okay. And then when she gives me her garter belt, I hang it on my rear view mirror. Okay. Do you guys want to bet if I had my girlfriend's garter belt from homecoming on my rear view mirror in my car in high school?
When you were driving away fast?
Oh, God damn it. You're right. It is that same girl. And I did. I had that garter belt up and I was like, yes, this rules. And after a while, I was like, oh, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, does it start to smell funky at all?
Aaron, it's not. What do you think a garter belt is doing? It's just on her leg.
Well, what if she's dancing hard and sweating?
What?
Wait, I got to go check my parents' garage for a second.
This has definitely confused what I should be doing for my flower style. So I'm going to go with the mat and just assume that this Valentine's Day date is not into flowers and go no flowers on this one, right?
I think some flowers
That's
are
the
a good
safest
idea.
bet. That's the safest bet, Russell.
Flowers for Valentine's, Russell? Tired.
Cliche.
Yeah. Corsage? Wired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are doing these days.
I would err on the side of flowers, but it's your call.
All right. How about this question? Card or no card?
Always a card. Yeah.
No card. What?
No
You're getting your
card.
wife's
No
card?
card. No card.
As
Always
much as
a
I
card.
hate cards, I mean, like they're just a way. Might as well take $4 and light it on fire, right?
Yeah.
Like just so
Or
pointless, you know.
Cheap ass
So
cards. You're buying cheap ass cards, man. You buy nice
Yeah.
cards.
$3.95 at. I go to Target and get my $3.95 cards. You know, they're just it's a must. Even though I've worked it out with my mom. I don't know if I told you guys this, but she's given me the same birthday card for the last like 13 years now. I just give it back to her and she keeps it and then gives me the same card year after year.
That's
I hate cards.
that's one of the saddest things I've ever heard in my
That's
whole
really
life.
Such a waste of time.
And I saw Aaron's lunch this
Cards.
week. That was sadder than Aaron's lunch.
That one. Aaron's lunch was sad.
Aaron's
It
lunch
was a
was
sad
sad.
lunch, but there was celery in there. It was a little crunch.
Just to let everybody know,
Salad.
Aaron did text the text chain a picture of his lunch, and we all roasted him for about 2 days.
Worth it
lunch was
though.
sad.
Great discussion on the text.
Good
chain
content.
around
Good
the
content.
sad lunch.
It was very bad. You guys really get your wives a card for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten my wife a card. Ever. You know what? I'm going to get her a card this Valentine's Day. It's going to rock her socks off. The problem is I'm not going to remember till like Valentine's night, like 7:30. So the only card there is going to be like, I like you. And I'm going to like cross out like and write like love.
How about this question? Valentine's chocolates. Your thoughts? Do you get any sort of chocolates or some sort of edible surprise, if you will?
Ooh, Rob, you want to take that one?
I have gone to, where was it? It was a very nice chocolate store in New York on Valentine's. I went during my lunch break and I got her some very nice chocolates one time. Much appreciated, but I'm going to tell you, that place was packed on Valentine's Day. You cannot go into a candy store on Valentine's Day. It is the ultimate trap. But I don't know. I think chocolates are tough, right? It's you got to get like, I would say the perfect number is like 6. Get her 6 chocolates. Any more? Can't get her the big heart. Can't do it.
I bought some chocolate covered dates today because I was like, oh, that's cool. Like chocolate covered dates. I got you some dates.
That's cool,
because we don't
said
get to
Aaron.
go out on as many dates, right?
Here's
That was
Aaron at
my-
the store picking out chocolate covered dates. Hey, this is cool.
That was it. That was me.
Can I get the third most expensive chocolate covered dates, please?
Wow. Those are the first ones we've sold in 30 years.
I never used to be like, it was much more that she would be the one to eat the sweets and I was never into sweets. And lately I eat the chocolate in the house and she doesn't. So this year I was like, well, I do want to buy her some nice chocolate, but I'm going to be the one to eat it. So that feels like not, it doesn't really count. Like I bought it, but it like I got to.
That feels like
Yeah.
buying concert tickets for her for the concert you want to go to.
Right. So it feels like I still got to do something else too.
All right, next question. Let's say the person you're dating or you're going on a Valentine's Day date with, this Valentine's Day date, let's say they're a planner and they went out of their way and they made plans for you for Valentine's Day. Is that a bad deal if you didn't make the plans and the person you're going on a date with made the plans for you?
Listen, if they're a planner, it's what they like. It's what they get off on. Let it go with it. They like doing it. If they did it, let them do it. What are you going to do? Make concurrent plans?
Better plans?
Make other plans? Russell, have you ever made plans for a date with them?
With this one or with any dates?
With any dates, let's say.
Technically, yes.
Yes. Then guess what? Fuck it. Let them make the plan one time. They get to make the plan, Russell. I think it's great.
Hold on, Russell, can you take your headphones off for a second?
You bet.
Guys, do you think like this person's taking the bull by the horns because they don't like Russell's date plans? Kind of concerned here all of a sudden.
Do you think they're giving him a message like, hey, this is what a real date looks like?
Or do you think, you know what? No, I'm wrong. I think what it is Russell, if I know Russell, he does so much planning and he's so good at planning that this person's finally trying to just give it back just a little bit. Say, look, you do it all. You do such a great job. I'm going to be the one on Valentine's. That's got to
enjoy this time.
Do you see that? Do you see that part on the beach where there were only one set of footsteps going to White Castle for Valentine's Day? That is where I carried us on the date.
Very nice. Okay.
Russell, I would say,
come on back.
Headphones in.
I'm a little suspicious because Russell was telling me before we got on that his date was planning a trip to a jewelry store, a ring store. So I think that's a bad sign. You got to look out. Could be entrapment. Legally, that's entrapment.
Well, they sell those necklaces, right?
You realize this doesn't help me. You realize this is not what
they have those necklaces where it's like two hearts that are together and stuff. So maybe she wants one of those necklaces, right?
Yep. And you can get a discount if you get other people's names on there. Just let everybody know you can get a discount.
I think that in this case, if your date made the plans, you go along with it, you enjoy it, you're very grateful and clear that you enjoy that they made the plans, and then you try to follow up. And I'm not a good planner either, but at some point you try to make your own plan as well. You try to return the favor.
Right. So here's the next question. So let's say they made plans. It's a dinner plan, very nice restaurant. They're doing like one of the preset menus, if you will, and you prepay for it. This Valentine's Day date prepaid for it. Am I obligated to reimburse?
No.
No.
Monetarily.
Whoa. Aaron says no.
No.
That Russell. I think go for what Aaron says. If Aaron says it, it's got to be a good idea. That takes big nuts, Russell. Holy shit. You're not even going to offer to reimburse?
I mean, keep in mind, I've been married for a long time, so the finances have been together for a very long time. I think
commingled. We call that commingling in the business.
Yeah.
Commingled. No, once again, I feel like that you enjoy this, you appreciate the largesse, the planning, the like that you are receiving. I don't know if we say love or not. So the sharing, and then you do that for them the next time.
Well, it's better than what I'm doing for Valentine's Day, Russell. You know what I'm doing?
Putting a cardboard box in front of your wife's door so the dog doesn't scratch against it at night.
That's actually very romantic. Yeah.
Brilliant callback. Brilliant.
She put a cardboard box in front of the door. I can't even get in. I think it's a bad. I don't know how to get around it. It's impenetrable.
Scratching at the door.
No, I'm just eating a lot of pineapple. Hey, babe, my gift to you.
All right. So the final question is, how many hours in advance of your Valentine's Day date should you have this figured out? And am I already too close to the date where I'm already fucked?
Well, Valentine's is in 3 days, right?
I don't know. I think so.
I think
Well, technically 3 for you.
planner,
No,
he says.
it's midnight, but yeah.
No, why fight it? What's it? I mean, why?
Yeah.
Russell, do you deserve? Let me ask you this, Russell. Okay, we've had issues with this before, where you say things like, "Oh, that wasn't very good." Russell, do you deserve to be treated well?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Russell. You're the man. Okay, somebody wants to take your ass out and take you to Red Lobster. Guess
wine
what?
and dine you, 69 you, all
you
of it.
get out, you get wine,
Then propose.
you get dined.
I think it's great. I think it sounds awesome.
And I would say on Valentine's Day, 69 guys on top. Okay, that's our promise to you on Valentine's Day this year. 69 guys are on top. Okay, switch it up this year. Guys on top for 69.
All right, we'll switch it up, and I'll call Rob up. Rolling going. How's it going with you, Rob? You're up second.
Oh my God, this is so fast. Listen,
That's what she said.
I went out today, okay? And I'm just going to tell you guys this, but I'm going to edit out with a guy I cannot fucking stand.
Oh, that's the worst.
This guy, I don't get along with this guy so much. You guys know me. I asked for somebody to mediate between us at work. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
Can you imagine me asking for mediation? I said, I will not talk with you anymore until we have mediation. That's how bad it is. So now, of course, my now mission is to have him think that I like him. It's a trick, okay? But we're in the elevator, we're chatting. He's like, hey, you going out to this thing? And I was like, oh, yeah. And he goes, hey, you buying first drink? And I was like, and look at the shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Hard Daddy shirt today. I think it's this shirt where people just want to treat me like a fucking asshole. So I say, okay. I was like, haha, yes, I will, as long as you buy the second and third. We get there. Good joke, by the way. We get there. He takes me up on it. I am now buying him. And guess what he ordered for a drink?
A Cosmopolitan.
A Glenlivet 15 with a side of pineapple juice. A chaser of pineapple juice. Which, by the way, when I got the receipt, $7 for the pineapple juice. $7 for the side of it.
How much for a Glenlivet 15? 22? 24?
I didn't even want to see it. I would throw up if I saw it. And then as he was leaving, he goes, oh, are you getting another drink? And I was like, no, I've already had like 4. I'm not. He's like, I said, oh, you can just give me next time. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, you did. Can you imagine telling somebody to buy you a drink and then giving him that drink order to make? Outrageous, right? Like, what do you guys? What's your guys' policy on going out with people from work to have drinks? Is it a yay or a nay or what? I used to work at a school where I do it every Friday, and now it's just a big nay. It's always a bummer.
My work, slightly bragging here, but not really. But like before I got there, it was complete. Nobody talked to anybody. Nobody hung out with anybody. It was just a Debbie Downer.
Well, you do work at a funeral
place, right? Because everybody worked together, but then they just go their separate ways. And I came up in the world that you can't just work with people, right? Like you got to have a beer with them every once in a while. I've got people that I work with. Sometimes they got to do shitty stuff, and I, I'm the one like, hey, we got to do this report or whatever, right? And so I go and I say we're having happy hour, and I'm going to buy beer because the last thing somebody wants to do is do some shitty job, but at least if they got to do a shitty job, at least somebody bought them beer for doing it, kind of thing, right? So that's my philosophy. So once a month, quarterly, something like that. If there's somebody's birthday, it's a big birthday or something like that, I think you got to do it. You got to go out and you got to do something other than just work with the people you're with. But it can't be, to your point, Rob, it can't be an every Friday thing, I don't think, because then it just gets old and gets sour a little bit. And everybody some people come, only the really, really desperate, lonely people show up every Friday, right? Because everybody's got other stuff going on. So, yeah, I'm with you. But no, you got to do it every once in a while.
I used to go out every Friday with Suzanne.
Yeah, in my 20s, my first job, I worked at a group home, and the shift was 3 to 11. And I went out.
Whoa.
I went out 4 nights out of 5 with my coworkers. I went to Westrums. So you get off between 10:30 and 11. You'd head over to Westrums, and then you'd go home at 2. Sometimes if you had to work the 7 a.m. shift, you'd come back at 7. But now, in the last 10 years, I don't think I've gone for drinks with coworkers more than 3 times. It's not something I do anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
But you are management, though.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. It is a weird thing, right?
It is. I mean, isn't the point of a work happy hours to go and like complain about your boss?
Yeah, I think if you're a manager and these things happen, you gotta go. You gotta have
get one, and then you gotta
you gotta have the one, and then you gotta get out of there. Yep.
Yeah. Aaron shows up at the bar.
Hey, for the one.
Yep.
Hey, everybody! Listen, today I'm not your boss. I'm your friend. Okay, let's sit down. Did I tell you guys about when I worked in a group home? I drank every night. Well, see you guys later.
Aaron, I think the move, if you do go for the one, is then you buy like 2 more rounds on your way out. So then they at least feel guilty when they're trashing you when you're not there.
That's true. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. We haven't done any in-person stuff for 3 years. I have a couple coming up this year, so I'm gonna rely on you guys for advice about that.
Rolling, go on, Aaron. How's it going with you?
I don't know. It's going okay. Kind of up and down this week.
No.
Are you guys? Like,
this is your job at the yo-yo factory?
Yeah, it's my job at the Yoga Factory again. You know how we've talked about, like, as we get older, sometimes we're more into sports, sometimes we're less. Like, I think all of us on this podcast have been a little bit out on sports at various points in the last 3 years. I did get really into the NBA trade deadline this year, but then it bums me out because it makes me think of my own mortality. Like,
What?
I'm watching the end of Russell Westbrook's career now, right?
Oh,
this guy was an absolute supernova athlete, like nothing we've seen before. And now everything about what's happening with him is a total bummer. He's also not particularly nice, which is also a bummer. And it just makes you think about yourself getting older. So I don't know. I might be out on sports. I might just go back to only listening to music like you guys. It's too real for me watching this stuff.
So Rosie, you are bemoaning your life, thinking about Russell Wilson. Do you want to tell me Russell Westbrook? I mean, not Mr. Unlimited. Can you tell me what year was he born? I just looked it up.
Oh, he's much younger than I. He's probably born in like 1989.
He's 1988. He's 1988.
I was close. Did you hear that? I said 89.
Yes, I did. You're going to die way before Russell Westbrook. Don't worry.
I know.
about
That's
it.
the
He
thing.
should not be your indicator.
This is that
Actually,
in my life where I'm way
Rosie's
older than
probably
everyone.
Why are you guys all looking at me?
This is that point in my life where I know that
It's your
I'm
show.
way
You're the host. We got to look at you.
than these guys. No, it's just grappling with your own mortality. That's all. And he's just an example. I'm not worried about Russell. He's going to be fine in his life.
Are we talking about me or Westbrook now? Now I'm getting weirded out.
Both Russells in my life. I feel good about him.
I think about my mortality every time this year because I think to myself, what if I have a heart attack in the Dwayne Reed on Valentine's Day? That would be an all-time bummer, wouldn't it? Like you can just feel like your left arm goes numb and you look around and you're like, oh my God, these giant hearts everywhere. And nary one to help me out.
Especially if you were waiting for the concierge to come open up the lock and key to get out the dish soap or whatever's under lock and key these days at the Dwayne Reed, right?
Can you open up this AED thing to shock me back to life? And he's like, okay, we need somebody to the AED section, please. AED. He also needs small condoms, please. Thank you.
That would be a pretty crappy way to go, like in a Walgreens or a Dwayne Reed. Like the last people you see is the person working behind the counter there.
Oh, can you, man? And they're kind of like annoyed. They're like,
yes.
I tell my students all the time,
unless you're within arm's reach of the Cadbury eggs, and you can grab one last Cadbury egg on your way out.
That is true. That is you flipped the script on that one, Aaron.
Can I tell you guys? I have a Cadbury egg announcement.
That's so gross.
Okay, I have a Cadbury egg announcement. I now have a Cad Buddy.
What
egg?
What
friend.
is that?
My Cad Buddy egg friend is Suzanne. We are texting each other every time we've eaten a Cadbury egg this Easter season. Anytime we eat a Cadbury egg, we will be texting each other. I have already texted her twice. Okay. I have eaten 2 Cadbury eggs. They are delicious. I have no regrets.
Love it. And then the one thing I want to celebrate this week is I finally finished a book that I've been trying to finish for a long time, which means that my family can now go back to the library because they've been waiting for me to finish this book so they can go back
without
to the library. I don't know. Every time we'd be like, well, Dad hasn't finished his book yet. And they're all like, and shout out the Oakland Public Library. They now automatically renew your books. So the books were all renewing automatically. So we didn't have to go back. So we'll probably hit the library this weekend because
you never need to return that book. Keep that shit at home. Why go back? Why bring it back? Fuck them.
Aaron,
it's yours.
Great point.
Was the book called The Game: Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists?
No.
Yes.
It was not. No, it was Moonwitch Spider King by McAllister College professor Marlon James.
What was it about?
Matt, how's it really going with? Oh man, it's about this woman named Sogalan who lives for almost 300 years. She falls in love with a shape-shifting guy who is also a lion, and she is chasing after a magical boy who may or may not become king of this kingdom. And then there's this chancellor named the Aezi who is trying to also capture the boy, and so she and he are rivals the whole way. And at some point, she becomes the Moon Witch and does a lot of work to avenge women who've been wronged by men. And there are all kinds of fantastical creatures like the Ishalogu, which is a bird type thing that is a little bit like a dragon. I could keep going, but I don't.
Rob, you have to have a soundbite for this. Rob, you have to have a soundbite.
I'm sorry. Honestly, I was like,
Rob, you have a soundbite, right? Like if you don't do the soundbite here,
I mean, really, there's no There's no like Spider-Man in this book at all.
There's a Spider King. Yeah, there's a king who's a spider. So it's like a boy who's also a spider. And sometimes he appears as a spider, and there's a lot of shape-shifting going on. Rolling going Matt. How's it going with Matt?
Pretty good. I heard a stat this week and I was kind of floored. So I thought I'd run this by you just to see.
All right.
I don't know if it's a stat or a fact, but how old were the Golden Girls when the show started? How old were each of the Golden Girls, do you think? So we got Rose. Rose was Betty White. She was the one from who went to St. Olaf. How old do you think Rose was when the show started?
65. Probably late 50s.
I was going to say 50s.
55.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dorothy was B. Arthur, the tall one.
Yeah.
Her mom. She had the mom there. How old do you think Dorothy was?
I think she was 62.
54.
54.
54.
All these
supposed to be. That's what her character was.
All these are within my dating age range, I would say.
Oh my God. That's hot.
Blanche. Blanche was the one. She was the promiscuous one. How old do you think Blanche was?
49.
I'll
53.
53.
She was 53. So we got Rose at 55, Dorothy at 54, and Blanche at 53. I would have thought for sure. I had no idea. I mean, we were kids when that show came out, kind of thing. I would have thought for sure it was like late 60s, early 70s. I had no idea.
I would like to see.
Well, Estelle Getty was the youngest one, right?
Juxtaposed with J-Lo on the most recent Grammys. Isn't J-Lo like 51? And so J-Lo was almost the same age as the Golden Girls.
Imagine if you had a love triangle between Blanche from the Golden Girls and J-Lo. Like you were playing them against each other.
Oh, wow.
Hey, come over here and sit on my face. No, wait, not you.
What? that's how love triangles go for you, Rob?
Yeah, it's a lot of me bossing people around. If I had a love triangle with Blanche and J-Lo, it would be Blanche in the closet with a camera. That would be her role in the love triangle.
So the only reason this kind of came up.
I'm on top, by the way. 69, I'm on top, Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, J-Lo. Thanks for listening.
You gotta watch it. Blanche might have like osteoporosis or something, Rob. You might break her.
Yeah. I'd give her some Activa first. She'd be fine.
So the whole reason this came up is that there's a Sex and the City reboot.
Yeah.
And you know where this is going, but guess how old the three women, there's only three of them that are coming back. But guess how old they are now in the Sex and the City reboot?
Older than the Golden Girls.
54 and 55. So the Sex and the City reboot, the characters are going to be the same age as the Golden Girls.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Which just blew my mind for some reason.
Wow.
That's great.
That was my stat of the week. That's all I had.
That's
all I had for
That's a
you guys.
wild one.
That's a great stat.
I watched so much Golden Girls when I was growing up. Like I was just on the TV, so I'd watch it. It's a show about 4 geriatric women.
Rob,
there was literally
get to the album. He just
very little I could relate to less. And I watched, I was like, oh yeah. Like, can you imagine your kid comes upstairs? Hey, what have you been doing for the last 2 hours? Oh, I've been downstairs watching the Golden Girls. What? You're an 11-year-old boy. Why are you watching the Golden Girls?
They probably thought you were using it as like a cover up when you were really watching TLC videos on MTV Live or whatever.
So I freak. Yeah. Just like creeping on the down low.
Let's talk about the album.
Let's get trippy.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like Creep, but one of them has a walker. Texas Ranger. Listen, about the album, we are doing Dummy by Portishead. Now, let me ask you, Matt and Aaron, have you guys ever heard this album before?
No.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago when I listened to it once.
How did I miss this album? This is
I knew Sour or whatever it's called, Sour Times or whatever, but I didn't know any other. I've never
Russell,
heard the album.
have you ever heard this album before? Dummy by Portishead?
I have never heard of it before, and I thought that was kind of weird, especially being this high on the list. Wasn't it mid-90s, or what's the year of the album?
It is 94. It is Matt's favorite year.
Greatest year.
There was part of me that was almost antagonistic when I saw this. I was like, you're telling me an album that is this high on the list, which is right in the prime of when we would have been into music, and I'd never heard of it. So I was originally very antagonistic about this ranking.
It feels like I had to have heard it at a coffee shop, like at Urban Bean or Plan B at some point in the aughts, but I never sat down and listened to the whole thing myself.
That's a great point. This album, Dummy, I mean, this really, the number one thing it says all across Wikipedia, all everywhere, is that this is what popularized trip hop, right? Which was the kind of this hip hop form coming out of England at the time, where it's more kind of psychedelic, it's still hip hop, but it's samples, but it's more trippy, more soundscape type. And basically this album is kind of interesting how they did it. This album wasn't recorded digitally. They actually they have samples on this album, right? It's just like Beastie Boys. I got to admit, parts of this album gave me a little bit of Wu-Tang vibe with some of the samples they did, because they also threw in
the haunting jazz kind of stuff. Yeah.
I like the track when they were talking about what they were going to do with the hot poker.
They recorded their music to a tape and then sampled that the way they sampled everything else. So instead of just playing it right on the tape, that's why when I first heard this album, I was like, I don't like this. It doesn't sound very good. It's not very clear. But that's the whole point. They literally took records that they were sampling. And Aaron, this is going to upset you when I say this. They put them on the ground and distressed them by walking on them and, quote, using them like a skateboard. That's what they did with the records to make them sound like this.
I don't like
that. Hey, Matt, can we get our pretentious meter out? Can we check that one or not?
I mean, they're English.
Yeah.
They come from England, so it's just kind of given.
Are you horny, baby? Yeah.
I definitely don't. I don't like when, I mean, we're going to get into the album, but I don't like when there's vinyl static crackle on digital music. That just pisses me off. And Jay Dilla, who's one of my favorites, Dilla did it on Donuts too. And that makes me crazy. Because then if you happen to buy the vinyl, then you're like, why isn't my vinyl clean? Turns out it is clean. They put that on the record on purpose.
So here we have, basically, welcome to Trip Hop, everybody. This is Portishead, and we're going to start out with Mysterions. I mean, when I first played this, I did not know what Portishead did, and this kind of blew my mind, actually.
I mean, I had an idea for what to expect, but I had never dug in. But so 94 was Radiohead doing. When was OK Computer? After this, right?
Yeah, that's later. That's towards 2000.
Yeah, so this feels like Radiohead must have listened to this, right?
I think that's very accurate. I think that's a great point.
Can I ask a potentially dumb question? Had any of you ever heard of the genre called trip hop before this album?
No.
I'd heard of it, but I'd never gotten
heard of it, but I couldn't have defined it for you. Yeah.
Who are the other ones? Massive Attack and Tricky or whatever, and that's the only other people I would know.
Tricky.
I had an ex-girlfriend who we went to a concert of a band that was like this at St. Olaf. And it was down in the gym, but it was like the secondary gym. And there's only like 10 people at this whole concert. And she got so into this band that she bought like all their CDs and would listen to them constantly. And it was so annoying. It was one of the worst things where I was like, I did not think the concert was that great. And then she bought all the CDs and I was like, she was like, this is our thing. We're going to listen to this forever. And I was like, oh no, I'm trapped.
You're like, no, catch me on Roosevelt Island.
And then I didn't get her a card for Valentine's Day, so she broke up with me. Sour Times. This is the only song to appear on the Billboard Top 100, all the way up to 53.
This one feels like it launched Dido's career to me.
Well, that's the thing, is that her voice is unbelievable.
She's great, yeah. And she's borrowing from Billie Holiday and others for sure. And honestly, like all those Verve remixes of jazz tunes, like this, that feels like this inspired that stuff too. Like this just feels like it spawned, a few things.
You know what I heard with this is I heard James Bond music. This sounded like a James Bond song to me, and I started looking at it, and it turns out they were using, I don't know if you had this, Rob, but they were sampled a song, I think it was called Danube Incident. It was in a Mission Impossible movie. But I heard James Bond, and I started Googling it, and there's a lot of people that kind of think that Beth Gibbons and Portishead would have been perfect for James Bond music, right? And I started thinking about it, and I thought we could do a list of the greatest theme songs ever in the James Bond movie history.
Wow. I love it. Wow. I wonder how many of these I've actually seen. I haven't seen that many Bond movies.
I've seen all the Daniel Craig ones. They're all on Delta. That's how I got through them.
Yeah, they're good too. I like those.
They are good. They're great.
I will say, I've been doing a search lately of where the Bond talks about how old he is. So I'm searching a lot for bondage online. I'm getting a lot of cool movies, actually. James Bond, guess what? Sometimes you think he's in real trouble, but it works out fine at the end.
So do we have any from Moonraker? I've seen Moonraker a bunch of times.
So first of all, recording a Bond song is a big deal. There's only been 24 Bond theme songs. Tom Jones has done one. Madonna, Sam Smith, Jack White, and Alicia Keys. Chris Cornell actually did a Bond song once, but it kind of got trashed in an article I was reading about the worst parts of grunge or something like that, and I didn't want to bring that up. And
yeah, he doesn't seem like a good choice, but I think we'll get into it.
Sam Smith
probably got
fucking
the ones,
rocked the Grammys. That was a great show.
Yeah, it was. I gotta say, it would be hard, wouldn't it, be in a band and be handed a Bond? Like, you're going to do a Bond song? I think that'd be so stressful because it's got to sound like Bond, which might not sound like you. I don't know. Let's hear what these sound. I'm interested what these sound like.
So we're going to start with one that's kind of off the list a little bit. We're just going to start with the original one, but I'm not giving you the original version. I'm giving you the video game version. This is from the video game GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye. No one has ever played GoldenEye on a smaller television, a 4-player GoldenEye on a smaller television than Russell and me. We played on a 13-inch, was it a 13-inch screen?
Like a 13 or 9-inch TV with like a
divided
VCR
by 4. Hours at a time. Hours.
If I gave my kids a 13-inch TV to look at, they would throw it in the garbage immediately. They would not put up with a 13-inch TV.
And I was never any good, and I still just sat there for hours playing with you guys.
Slappers only.
All right, so
I went to a homecoming dance where we actually slept over with our dates at somebody's house, like my senior year. And my buddy and I stayed up all night and played James Bond.
Bond was huge. I remember
that's all we did.
Our senior year in high school. We'll see what you guys think of this. You know, like the senior year of high school, they did like senior week type stuff. It wasn't like college where people were out drinking and stuff. But at the school, they set up in the theater Bond on the big movie screen or whatever. So all the kids were in there playing Bond up on the big screen.
Oh, that's great. God, fantastic. I put hours into that game. I was always terrible too.
So, never really good. So that was composed by this guy John Barry. It was the John Barry Orchestra, and he actually wrote 11 of the 14 Bond songs, of the 11 of the first 14. So this guy was a very big influence. But one of the people he worked with a lot is it Shirley Bassey or is it Bassey? Is she Bassey or Bassey, Aaron? Do you know?
I don't know. No, I'm not sure.
It's Count Basie, but
we're gonna.
Yeah, but it's Big Mouth Billy Bassey, so now I'm
we'll go with Shirley Bassey from 1964. The song we're going to pick from her is Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
It's the kiss of death.
This is
good stuff. Yes. Oh, the muted horns and the tambourine. It's so good. I don't know if you can top this, man.
This is so good.
So did you know that Shirley Bassey is the only person to sing 2 Bond theme songs? She's also the only person to ever sing 3 Bond theme songs. She's done them 3 times.
What? She's the ultimate Bond singer.
She did Diamonds Are Forever and Moonraker. So Diamonds Are Forever is the one that's covered by Kanye, I think. Isn't that right?
Right. Yes.
Oh.
Thieves in the Night.
Rob, maybe you can go towards the end of that. I don't know if I gave you time on this, but go towards the end of the song. You guys need to hear the end of this.
Oh, the castanets.
Isn't that badass?
Oh, it's so good. Same composer, John Barry?
Same composer, worked with her, I believe, on all 3 of them. But I was reading a review of a review on Billboard of Portishead, and it was this guy from Billboard, Larry Flicky, wrote, Portishead is typically melancholy mood, and that Beth Gibbons had perfected Shirley Bassey's vocal inflection. So they were even saying we were hearing Beth Gibbons from Shirley what you were hearing in the Goldfinger song.
No,
I can see that. That's great.
Next song on the list is from 1995. We've always said anything this woman sings, it always makes it better. This is Goldeneye by Tina Turner.
Yes. Oh.
Isn't that badass?
I've never heard this.
This was Pierce Brosnan's first movie, his first movie is 007. Did you guys have a favorite Bond in all the movies or not?
I did. It's sick to say, but I did love Pierce Brosnan. I love where he's jumping off the dam and getting on the plane. Like I was like, this guy is my Bond. Because the problem with like the Sean Connery Bonds is that they were made at that time where they'd show him like walking down a hallway. So you have like 5 minutes of him walking down a hallway. You're like, what? We know you're going down the hallway. Let's cut all this shit where you're just walking. And there's that one where Christopher Walken was in a blimp and he kidnapped
Looking
somebody
up to
in a
make sure
blimp.
I'm right, but I think, Roger Moore is my favorite because my best friend growing up had Moonraker on VHS. So I saw Moonraker so many times that Roger Moore is my favorite Bond.
That's the one where they're like, fuck it, we're doing Bond in space.
Yes,
Like, yeah, sure,
space.
why not?
We got,
Next song
That's
is
great.
from 1999. The band is Garbage. The song is The World Is Not Enough.
Ooh. I mean, this also has similar
a bop.
vibes to Portishead, right? I mean, with the strings and everything, but Shirley Manson also could put on a vibe.
I was reading some articles about some of the best female musicians from the grunge era. Maybe Matt knows a little bit more about this, but some of the names that kept coming up were Courtney Love from Hole, Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries. Is that right, Matt?
Yep.
Shirley
Yep.
Manson from Garbage, and then Beth Givens from Portishead. So those seem to be like a lot of people's favorite artists from that type of genre. But I think
I
they
get
would
it.
all
I
feel
hear
a
it.
Bond song, right?
Has there ever been a male that's singing a Bond song?
There
Russell?
have been a bunch of them, but you know what? I thought we would highlight female artists today because I think they have got the best songs on this list.
Yeah. I would be a male Bond song. Male bonding song would be something like, hey, we're actually guys and we have feelings and let's talk about it.
Next up on the list is from 2012. This is Adele, Skyfall.
Oh, man.
This is my favorite.
You like it, Matt?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it won the Oscar for Best Original Song. It was the first Bond song to win the Oscar.
It's great.
Yeah. Great song. I
It was
thought
kind
the
of
movie
kind of
didn't
setting up for everything else. It was
make
more of like a
sense at the
filler
end,
movie.
but-
You know, a bridge from the
Yeah, that's
one
true.
before it to the one after it.
Yeah,
It was a little
you're-
bit more.
But I
of a
don't know. Nobody
bridge.
ever watches a Bond movie and is like, wow, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen.
you're
right?
about
Like you
that.
just kind of, it's like a peanut M&Ms. Like you just eat them and they're there and it's better than most things. But
Next song on the list is from 2020. This is Billie Eilish, No Time to Die.
This was not one of my favorites.
No?
She just doesn't have the power in her voice to do this. And I like Billie Eilish. I like her music.
Right. But it didn't seem to mix with
I
me.
think it works.
Her singing Bond songs.
this makes me think I could write a Bond song. All these songs sound exactly the same to me.
But they're awesome, aren't
Well,
they?
and she wrote that, right? I mean, like Billie Eilish and her brother wrote that
You're right.
song. It's not like somebody wrote it for them. They just sang it. They had to like write the Bond song. But
She was the youngest artist to ever perform the Bond song. The previous one was Sheena Easton when she was 22. So Billie Eilish became the youngest. I think this was the year where she swept the Grammys. Interesting, the person playing guitar on that song was Johnny Marr. Do you guys remember who that was?
From Radiohead.
It's the Smiths, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I was reading this
I was wrong.
I was reading this article where members of Portishead, and they were talking about their current music passions and what they liked 4 or 5 years ago. They were listing a number of artists, and they kept talking about a great gothy woman the kids really like who makes stuff on Logic on her laptop. They were referring to Billie Eilish.
I can see
wow.
that. Yeah,
Russell.
she's sort of the next step.
If I got a
very
Bond
good.
if I got a Bond movie to sing, I bet they'd be like, oh, the title of this movie is like Agent Silver. And I'd have to rhyme something with silver, and I'd be like, fuck. Like everyone else is getting like fall and like finger, and I'd get silver. I'm like, God damn it. Nice list,
great
Russell.
list.
That was another.
Great list.
That was a top 5 list.
Those are all banger songs. Even the
Yeah,
ones that
Bond
don't
song's
crush are
super
awesome.
That
I'm actually
Goldfinger
going to sign
song
off
is
the
so good.
podcast and go watch a Bond movie. So I'm going to see you guys next time.
Oh, I thought you were going to want me to put a Goldfinger song into the sign off, and I was like, we can't do any more sound bits. It's too much stuff.
Don't put a Goldfinger in.
Oh, we'll
any of
find
our,
some stuff. Give us another 50 episodes. We'll find.
Oh
a few
my
more.
God, Strangers. She's talking about how she took a chord from like an organ and compressed it and made it into the drum beat on this song.
Yeah, this is clever stuff. And then these drums are hard. Like when these drums hit, these are hard.
I mean, they say that the drums suck up all the noise in the song, and I totally get that. Like it's
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing like some good beeps for a song too, right? Hey, we're light on the beeps. I need more beeps.
Yeah. You know, make this song even better. Some beeps.
hey, I want to think that my wash machine is always getting done. My fucking washing machine, I swear to God, does it need to make so many beeps? Every time it's done, it's like beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, beep. And then 2 minutes later, it's like boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. I'm like, yeah, we get it. We can see when the wash is done. We don't need to hear all the beeps.
Rob,
Annoying.
you know, you can probably shut that off, right? Just Google, shut off the sounds.
Yeah,
whatever washing machine you've got.
You'd probably pay the lady, your friend who helps clean your house, to look that up online and have her fix
Cookie
it for
lady.
you.
We call her the cookie lady.
If I touch the washing machines and they break, my wife will break. She will cut off my ring finger. My wife is addicted to laundry. It's her favorite thing to do because she does it all the time.
Really?
Oh, God, it's all the time. Laundry. Do you have laundry? I need laundry. And she always wants to be doing laundry. She loves the stuff. Happy Valentine's Day. It could be sweet.
Oh, it could be, couldn't it?
Listen, I'm not going to lie, guys. I tried listening to this at work. This was a tough one for me to listen to and then like go do anything with any energy.
I mean, we have to ask Aaron on this. Like, I think they try to claim some of this as jazz influenced. Is this just the symbol, Aaron? Are you allowed to say this is jazz influenced, or what do you think?
I don't know. I have a hard time.
That drum
sometimes.
is jazzy, isn't it?
I suppose. Yeah, there's some ride cymbal going on there. I don't really feel it. I don't want to get to my. Yeah, I don't really hear the jazz influence. It just feels like anything that is a little bit out of the norm from pop music, they say it's jazz influenced.
That song was written.
Certain critics will say that.
That song was written by Beth Gibbons before Portishead formed. And I think you can hear the difference between the songs like this, where you hear the big time DJ scratching. This was the group writing this kind of.
Yeah, they were going for a particular sound, right? They must have had an audience in mind.
But it is, I mean, this is an interesting flip, right? Like we have the samples. This is all samples. It's all, well, it's actual drums, but it's like, I don't know. And then there's a female singing over it, which we really haven't heard, right? Samples with a female voice. I don't think we've heard that at all.
Erykah Badu.
Yeah, oh shit. Yeah, you're totally right. It's a fire.
But I mean, in 1994, different maybe, but.
This song was not included on the vinyl or European release.
I mean, I think the thing with trip hop that appeals to people is that it's easier to listen to. It's rewarding to listen to. The grooves are good. The vibes are good. It has, I mean, I love the organ here. It's got the drums that you would want from hip hop, but you can also just play it and it's not going to challenge your sensibilities. It's not going to surprise you with what it says. So there's a lot, like, it's pleasant and it's nice and it's like, it's warm. Like people like it.
I was with you, Aaron. I thought the Hammond and the Rhodes, the organ on this, I thought were kind of put into the songs perfectly, right? Like we've heard on what was it, the band before, where they were just overdoing it, I think, on the Big Pink or whatever. But I like the organ on this album.
Yeah, the instrumentation's fun on this. And it does, I mean, I think Radiohead, it reminds me of Radiohead because I think they made similar choices with instrumentation that really work. Like they're tasteful and thoughtful.
Just to remind you, Russell, Big Pink was 31 episodes ago.
Oh my God.
That's like 90 hours
That's
ago.
like if Blanche was living in current days, she would have been like 52 years old. And J-Lo would have been 53, I think. So
Hey, Blanche, can you turn off the noise my washing machine is making? I think you have to go way to the back of the washing machine to get there. Just stick your head in there and see if you can fix it up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right. Next.
Not taking the bait.
Do you think NME ranked this as the 43rd best song of 1994?
I don't know. If we've never heard of it and that was in our time, this is where I kind of ran into problems with it.
But do you think this is one of those things where now we know what trip hop is and we know Portishead, that we're going to hear it in more places, like out and about, or?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Matt? You listen to some radio stations that might play something a little more unique like this, right?
Yeah, no, there's just too much other stuff. I don't know. It feels like this is just jamming in like another genre into the top of the list or into the top half of the list somehow. And I don't know. I think Radiohead did this, right? I think we've got our shoegaze stuff that did, a little bit of this. It just feels like we keep trying to jam in too much into this was influential for the rest of time kind of a thing.
I did know I think we may not have heard of this band, but you know who did hear of them? Booze and
Who's that?
Vinyl 2. This band is in Booze and Vinyl 2.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I'm
Look at
surprised.
this.
You're not lying.
No
are
way.
you?
There they
Wow.
are. There they are.
It's there. They actually recommended a drink called Sour Times in Booze and Vinyl, but that was my Bond song, so I couldn't do my song and my drink in the same song. But so when do you think they recommend that you listen to this?
Friday
early in the
night
morning.
after midnight.
Yeah, I would say maybe when you're, I don't know, loaded up on mushrooms. Like I have no idea.
I think you're right, Rob. They say, do you need a couch day, a crafternoon? This album and these drinks equal a voluptuous, laid-back relaxathon. They're saying relax and listen to this music.
Yeah, I know what that's code for.
But so for side A of the album, they were recommending
top.
a sour times.
Are you laying down?
And so my understanding is a sour is 2 ounces of any base spirit. You can pick what you want.
Dealer's choice, if you will.
3/4 ounce of lemon juice. 3/4 ounce simple syrup.
No,
A dash of Angostura bitters.
I do think he has the bitters.
And a lemon slice for garnish.
Oh. And sometimes egg white if you want, right?
I don't know. I was actually learning a little bit about cocktails. It turns out like there are really only, Rob, you might know this, there's only like 6 essential drinks. Like there's a daiquiri, a Jack Rose, a Manhattan Martini, Old Fashioned, and a sidecar. And a daiquiri, right? That's it. And everything else is based off those drinks. Is that right?
It's a Jack Rose. Is that a brandy drink?
I think it's Applejack or Apple Brandy or something.
There we go. Applejack is brandy. It's the oldest spirit in the U.S.
But so I decided to go with, I went with rum.
Johnny created
But
it.
instead of going with lemon, I was like, don't drinks taste better with a lime? So I switched out lemon with limes the whole time.
Okay.
And then here's the move to make my sour drink. You can see it
sugar
here.
and mint.
I'm drinking it out of a red wine glass, as you can see, Rob.
That's nice. Yeah.
I know you appreciate that. But instead of regular bitters, I use cherry flavored bitters. I thought I would throw a cherry into my lime sour and have a cherry lime sour.
Cherry flavored bitters.
And it's delicious. This might be one of the best drinks I've made on this. Good for Portishead.
I put a lime peel in our Negronis tonight. It's a good choice.
Jesus.
My neighbor has these limes that are sweet limes. These things are so good. And they don't use any of them. I can just walk over and grab them off the tree anytime.
No, you can't. So what are sweet limes? What are you talking about?
A sweet lime looks like a lemon, but it's a lime, but it's kind of sweet. It's so fragrant. It's perfect
this is a
for
dream.
cocktails.
This sounds like a dream you had. I mean, a lime that looks like a lemon, but sweet.
I did take a nap today from 7 p.m. to 7:20 p.m. listening to this album, so I may have had some dreams. But it's a good nap album too.
If I came in and my kid was on the couch napping, listening to this album, I'd be like, we're having an intervention. I've written a letter about how much I love you. Rhodes.
Aaron, what do you think of the lead singer here? She's kind of, I don't know what you'd call her voice, delicate. It's kind of soft. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's great. It is delicate and versatile, and she clearly is she's doing Joni Mitchell here. I just think she is clearly a music fan, listened to a lot of music. I mentioned Billie Holiday earlier. I think she definitely listened to jazz records and Joni Mitchell. And it's emotive. I like it.
Well, I can tell you that what she was inspired by in an interview is she said that this song was really, one song she loved was the soundtrack, the theme to Assault on Precinct 13, which of course was written by the director, John Carpenter. Here's that theme music. Listen to this. This movie is awesome 100% because of John Carpenter's music. This is so good. You can actually go see John Carpenter in concert now. I think he closes with this, actually.
This is nice.
You can see him in concert.
Yeah. He does concerts. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Very cool.
Pedestal.
The other place you can find this music now is if you search YouTube for like lo-fi hip hop or rainy day beats or beats to study to, like all this, there's a whole like Nujabes, other DJs have like made, and rest in peace Nujabes, but like people have made whole careers off of this. You can just like find hours long playlists of this kind of stuff, which is nice if you're studying or writing code or whatever.
As a teacher about 3 years ago, everybody was doing the lo-fi beats to study to. They were all playing it. The woman sitting by the window with the cat, everybody was doing it.
That's it. That's the one. You get it.
Biscuit. So this, if you listen, this is Johnny Ray's 1950s song that they slowed down to 16 beats per minute.
This is where some of the songs I enjoyed, and I know I'm going to get looks for saying this, but this just sounded like random noise to me. I was like, I don't understand what we're doing here.
Well, what do you like better, Russell? That or the song they sampled from?
I'll never fall in love again.
I like this song better.
Rob, this sounds like something that would be playing when you and Blanche were going out while J-Lo was calling you. Like, she's calling, she's like, Rob, why are you not picking up my phone? Where are you?
I love this.
And meanwhile,
I was
you
listening
and
to this
Blanche
all
are
day.
out, like, parading around. You're going ice skating and all that stuff.
You see like lingerie getting put up on the Japanese divider, right? But then it's like way too many pieces of lingerie. Yeah. It's like 4 bras, and it's like, wait, if I had there 4 bras, you know what I mean?
And then it would be if the movie would be like Rob's constantly going on dates with different ones. So like Blanche is throwing her old lady underwear like up over the thing, and then J-Lo's throwing up whatever she wears over the thing, and Rob's going back and forth. It would be great.
And then my dog's coming over and eating it.
He only eats Blanche's and leaves J-Lo's alone.
One interesting thing, I don't know if we've talked too much about the band members of this. There's a guy, Adrian Utley. He's the guitarist for Portishead. And before he started playing with Portishead, or when they were starting to launch their band, he actually played with Jeff Beck as a session musician on the album Crazy Legs. Here's the song Crazy Legs. Check this out. It was a tribute album, I guess.
Whoa, this is Jeff Beck?
So that's Jeff Beck. This guy was also playing acoustic guitar on this album, but I couldn't hear it. And he even said it was hard to heir him, but he was playing with Jeff Beck, and he said Jeff Beck was very important for his career. He was giving him an opportunity, a massive hero for him. So I will say when it comes to playing or giving Adrian Utley, the guitar player from Portishead, a chance when he needed it, so we could listen to this album today, who did it better?
Beck did it better. Listen, if you're still listening to this episode, hats off to you. I got to say, this is unbelievable. You have heard us now play Glory Box, the last song. I like the guitar in this. It's based on Ike's Rap by Isaac Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good song.
How many times did you guys get to this song on the album?
You know, for me, this is one of the first albums where I only could get through like 2 songs at a time, then I'd go do something else and I'd come back. I don't think I could listen to the whole thing straight.
It's a pretty short album though. I feel like you can like if you're I find it was a better car album than I expected. I enjoyed it in the car more than I thought I would.
I could see where if you were doing something you didn't have to pay attention to this album, it'd be really good because it all kind of flows together, but
right.
I don't know. Listen, let's get into the rating system. Why mess
Everyone's
around?
favorite.
And now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. The patented and very popular Beck Did It Better
Rating system.
Now, a lot of you think Portishead, is that something that happens in a outdoor toilet with my girlfriend? No. Okay, it's a band. And they had an album called Dummy.
But not the band.
By the way, that Blue Water is a spermicide.
Yes.
Let's remind that. Not the band. That was 31 episodes ago.
Don't rush.
This is ranked at 131. Okay.
No doubt.
It is trip hop. All right. Trip hop, and you don't stop except for Russell, who stopped about every 2 songs to go do something else.
187 on a mother grabbing.
What do we think of this album? Does it belong at 131 ahead of so many other albums? If you think this is perfectly ranked, this is a rolling, well-toned, okay? This is a perfect sounding album. Or do you think this should be higher on the list, which of course would be a lower number? In that case, it got rolling boned. It should have been higher on the list. We should have been like, hey, Led Zeppelin, Prince, Portishead. Makes sense to me. Let's run with that. Or should this be lower on the list, which of course is a higher number? Now, sometimes I like to think of that as a seesaw. I'm going down the list. The number is going up. Just like how the list works, it's a higher number, therefore lower on the list. It all works out if you think
Robert,
about.
Are those directions going the same on Valentine's Day, or do you have to flip it upside down?
The seesaw.
Rob's on top either
Is
way.
the saw on top instead of the C or not?
It's
a saucy.
Listen,
saucy.
Sometimes you get saucy.
Do you think this is rolling well toned, rolling boned, or rolling grown? Portishead, Dummy Rosie, what do you think?
I forgot to mention in my rolling going that one of my
Oh,
favorite
my
places for breakfast when I used to work in San Francisco was called Munchbox. They had a great croissant sandwich.
Munchbox?
My problem, yes, with two
How do you
X's.
pronounce croissant?
He's done it before.
Has he?
He's absolutely done it before because I pulled it as a sound clip. I've got it somewhere where he's going, croissant.
Yeah, croissant sandwich. My problem with this album being where it is the existence of Sade. They've taken the Sade blueprint. I was Googling today, you know, Portishead Sade, and apparently at the time Robert Christgau, who was the critic for Rolling Stone, called this album Sade for androids. I wouldn't say that, but I would just say Sade did it first. This idea of some space, some minimalism, deep bass, some musicians, and then a great woman's voice on top of the whole thing. Except Sade's voice is better, I think. So I don't know. I don't understand how, especially when I'm sure these people listened to Sade and took from that influence. So there's no way for me this should be ahead of Sade, among many other things, Dookie, for example. So I've got to say this is a rolling groan. Even though I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed it, but it's still a rolling groan.
Russell, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan?
I will echo what Aaron said to some extent. I enjoyed this more than I thought it was. Like I said at the beginning, to me, if you're taking an album and saying it's one of the greatest ever, and it was right from our youth, and I'd never heard of it, I was like, you're going too far for me. But I will say I really like some of the songs. Some of them, it was getting a little too atmospheric for me, but I thought Beth Gibbons, the lead singer, was fantastic. I thought she added a lot to the album. But you know what? An interesting thing for me is it's not always about the album, it's about what you experience listening to it. And for me, this is always going to be when I got to really dive into the Bond songs. And the Bond songs were amazing. So to me, the experience was awesome. And if this band got me there, I'm going to appreciate it. And I would love to hear Portishead get to do a Bond song in the future. I would be all about that. But for me, it's rolling groan. It's too high on the list. I don't think I'll come back and listen to it very often.
Matt, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan?
Rolling groan. This is an album that can kind of just fade off into the distance. There's so many good albums coming up that are way better than this album. I think it's kind of a filler album. I mean, it feels like we're trying to just jam in what somebody thought was an influential album for things to come, and I just didn't hear it. So again, my take, but I think it's rolling groaned.
I get it. I do get what you guys are saying, but what are we going to do? Like put Led Zeppelin 3 here? You know what I mean? Like we've heard the Led Zeppelin, we've heard Pink Floyd.
We haven't heard Dookie. We haven't heard Whitney Houston.
Bob Dylan.
We haven't heard the Replacements. I would take the Replacements over this damn album.
Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Dookie, Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay, you know what, guys? For yelling at me like that, I'm editing that out. That's not staying in.
Eminem.
Eminem. Right.
Yelling at Sweet Rob for actually saying something smart. Okay, on Valentine's Day.
The Pixies. Okay. Oasis. What's the story, Morning Glory? This was better than Oasis. What's the story, Morning Glory?
Oh, I don't think so.
Give it to me, baby.
So. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think Red Hot Chili Peppers might have better albums than this one.
Waka ding a ding a dong a ding dang, living down the California nation.
Hey, Aaron, we don't need to bring up the Red Hot Chili Peppers after I did not purchase those tickets for the holidays. We can just leave that alone if you
just
please.
Leave it alone. Yep, you got it. Leave it alone.
Listen, this unfortunately you guys are incorrect. Okay, and I just looked to see what I wrote down earlier, and I am disappointed in myself. Okay, I am just going to say that right now. I'm not happy with this joke. This is a rolling combination. Okay, it combines sad music with slow hip hop. I mean, this is like, listen, when we did shoegaze, I didn't especially enjoy it, but now I hear the term shoegaze all the time, and I know exactly what they're talking about. From now on, when somebody says trip hop, I'm going to know exactly what they're talking about. This is what this podcast is about.
Yes.
We are learning.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, it's just like going to liberal arts college. Yeah, you don't want to fucking take 2 years of Spanish. It sucks balls. Nobody wants to do it. It sucks. It's the worst thing ever. But you know what? You learn how to say round trip ticket in Spanish and use it once in Spain, and you feel like a god. To the point where you actually tell your kids that story.
Fumar,
and they don't.
Donde está el baño?
Yeah, ida y vuelta. Listen, this album, it's just like that cow that Mario saw yesterday. It's a mood.
It's a what?
It's a mood.
Oh, no.
Listen, no time. Guys, don't dwell on that, okay? We're moving on. Moving on, okay?
Don't dwell on it.
I'm going to edit in some space to have the audience laugh so they don't miss this part. Next up.
Did you say audience?
Yeah. Yeah, I have an audience coming over for croissant.
It's his Iowa accent.
This rowdy friend is not coming over tonight because he died in 1953.
Oh,
Okay. Coincidentally, the last year of the Korean War.
29 years old.
It turns out
29.
Hank Williams actually fought. Oh no, I forgot I did this joke too. Okay, I got to sing this in this song. Kim Il-sung, your supreme leader, number one. How about putting me in North Korea's foreign ministry? This was a bit I had in my head where Hank Williams died fighting for North Korea in 1953. Trust me, yesterday, funny as hell.
was he hanging out with Dennis Rodman or not?
Yeah.
Our downloads in Alabama just plummeted. All those downloads in Alabama just
Damn
gone.
it.
Poof.
I've got the perfect podcast for
Both of them.
Jack.
Beck did it better.
Hey, Rob, while we were getting through that long ranking system, I actually got my trucker's license, so I'm going to be a long haul trucker. I'm going to head to the truck stop, and hopefully I can show some of these lot lizards my Portishead.
Oh.
It's time to say goodbye.
Hey, I got a sleeper in the back, but you're on the bottom.
It's Valentine's Day.
Perfect episode. That might be the perfect episode.